Okay. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We got some more trial to finish. I do seem to recall we have to press this one right here. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. I like cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? You mean the cell phone? Let's ask further. By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
Stars! The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
Because it's stupid. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Now, I have an interesting little statement here. Objection! I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr? This is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What?
Order. What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. Lies, I tell you. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. I think she lied about where she saw it. She tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. It would be pointless for her to lie about it.
Pointless to lie? Are she?
The witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. In other words, Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed this crime was here. The only place she could have seen. This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second level so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime in the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Oh no, I forgot to... Dang it, there was a really good one that you could press earlier. Darn, it was so funny. Oh well. Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. Sounds familiar. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Angle of view, I believe? I may be wrong. Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change?
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, should have sort of a more 3D view of the crime, and this is important. It's not, because I'm an idiot. No! Exclamation point! Come back! No, don't you dare review what we know again. I will hurt you, lady. It has to do with... I'm pretty sure it has to do with the... Wait a minute. It's definitely distance, isn't it? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. It doesn't change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. There it is. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Star, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness?
Yes. You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend?
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Oh, hello, cat. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention.
And the spork has a point too. Ah! Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely!
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? I'm pretty sure I have. I don't know if I have evidence, but... But the problem is... The picture. I know it's the picture, but I don't remember whether I have to raise an objection or not. Darn it. I'm gonna do it anyway. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? Of course it's strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Well, don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone.
Of course not. That hammer is looking mighty suspicious every second, Judge. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. This guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yarg.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. She has a grudge against the defendant, and there is a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her personal history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Whew! Uh-oh. Oh, dear. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence, so I can eat my lunch.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Alright, decisive evidence. Let's see. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? Why do you have the victim's shoe? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other was the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's blood. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Why does she have the victim's shoe? I mean, not the victim's shoe, was it the... Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Why do you have that shoe? Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? And why do you have a shoe? Simple. As I've already said, you hate prosecutors, I understand. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. I stole a shoe. Yay! And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Oh, dear God. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You should know the 2 rules of evidence law, Miss Starr. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is legal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Ha, I'm gonna laugh again. Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Stop doing that. I'm just gonna crack up and every single time, and then people will start thinking that I'm a child. It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. Well, seem to have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. So we have the victim's shoe. It is the victim's shoe. I got mixed up. I don't know why. But why do you have the victim's shoe?
Very well, Mr. Wright, we may cross-examine the witness.
Alright, let me see that stupid shoe. I want to look at that shoe. Ah, there's blood here too. On the sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. That it is, Mr. Wright, that it is. And this is both Lana and... This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. I do believe we have to do some pressing now. No, you didn't. You stupid. So? You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Why do you have that? Who eats that? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole batch of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. What's wrong with the victim's shoe? If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence.
Why, certainly. Present! I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Oh, how nice.
Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. Or blood. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows paws of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. If there were bloody prints, they would have been found. We checked the scene, and found nothing of the sort.
Order! 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 Well, witness.
What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Oh, great. Finger shake. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
But what are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Rawr.
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Ah!
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this mortar. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So if my sister's blood on the shoe, that's when it happened?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please. Well, what? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. No, she didn't, idiot. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant misled a sky.
Objection, please. Thank you. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
You've reached your verdict, Your Honor. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this.
Photograph?
I have this just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
But Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind, immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. Hence, it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
3, 2... No! Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can't it wait?
No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over, until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright.
Show the court the problem in this photograph. Unfortunately, I've let this video go on really long, so I will show you the problem next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.